Hi friends, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the 3 books that I read in February and a little bit of why I read 3 books. So, first things first, the first book I read is called Brigands and Breadknives by Travis Bauldree. This book is a third, but technically a sequel because one of those was a prequel. It's a little confusing, but it is set in this fantastical world with Viv and Tandri, and this one specifically is about Fern, who we meet in Bookshops and Bone Dust, which is the prequel to Legends and Lattes. So all of those books are phenomenal. This book in particular was interesting because it was all through like Fern's perspective and through her lens instead of Viv's, which have been the 2 previous books. But I absolutely loved it. These are all cozy fantasy, but this is the one that had the most like action in it, which I really appreciated. And we got to meet some really fun characters along the way. A goblin who is one of the most fascinating characters in the book, in my opinion. I adored her. And then a legendary elf who starts off a little gruff and then turns into just this amazing person. And I am just, absolutely loved it. So I did write a blurb for my reading tracker that I want to read to you. So I said, Fern doesn't know what she wants or why she feels this way, but a drunken night leads to a great adventure where she wrestles with her feelings until she realizes what she needs. The best goblin you could ever ask for, the most badass elf, a surprisingly intelligent horse, and some talking steel that are hilarious in their own right. This is an adventure I would like to go on time and time again. And it's true. All of Travis Baldree's books so far have been comfort reads for me. So I highly recommend this. And yeah, I hope you check it out. If you love cozy fantasy, I highly recommend it. My cover does look a little different because it's a special edition, which I absolutely love this edition. Like oh my gosh, be so for real. It's perfection. And then the back. And then the sides, everything. And then it has art in the middle too. Not going to show you all that, but these ones are fantastic. And it's from Owlcrate. I don't know if they have any more copies available, but I love the special editions that they've been doing for this series in particular. And the second book that I read is called Mate by Ali Hazelwood. Now this is a sequel to Bride, which was a vampire and werewolf romance. And I really enjoyed that one, and I didn't know that I would, honestly. And because I enjoyed that one so much, I picked up this one, and it was just a blast. Kicks, giggles, adorableness. It's just a fun time. It is not the most intense, gripping thing ever, but it was by far such an enjoyable read, and I loved it. It's the type of book that if I have a bad day, I can go back to and reread, and it's just a little pick-me-up. So essentially is a book about werewolves in this one, between a hybrid werewolf and a alpha, and them falling in love, their relationship, and it does get a little bit political with like the pack culture and all that stuff, and then about her history, which I really did like the exploration of the characters and their backstory that I think Ali Hazelwood did a fantastic job with. But yeah, if you want a good romance read that is not humans, highly recommend my reading tracker review for Mate. So that one is just an absolutely enjoyable read, full of tension, longing, and trying to do what's right, but with werewolves that apparently walk around naked after shifting and a really spicy heat. Ooh. They do. They have like no clothes. I'm just like, if you know you typically shift in this area, why don't you just put like a stock of clothes? I don't know. It's not my world. And then the third book that I read was Diana Wynne Jones's book, Howl's Moving Castle. Now, this book I've been wanting to read for years because I loved Howl's Moving Castle, the Ghibli film, growing up. It was one of my favorites. That one and Kiki's Delivery Service are my favorites, my childhood. When I saw that FairyLoot was doing a special edition of this book, I knew that I wanted to get it and to read it, and it did not disappoint. It was fantastic. It was extremely cozy, slow-paced, but still engaging the whole time. It made you think, but not like in a stressful way. Like with some books, it builds up tension and you're just like gripped and you're going through it. That wasn't this book. This one was more like building this like care for these characters to where you're just like, oh, I want it to turn out for them. Why doesn't he know that it's her and that they should be in love? Like all of those types of feelings. It was so good. So essentially, if you don't know what Howl's Moving Castle is about, Sophie is a hat maker who gets cursed by the Witch of the Waste and becomes an old woman. And she needs a place to rest, so she just sits inside of this giant castle, like house that walks around, and it is Howl's moving castle. And he is a wizard, the most feared in the land, and it's just their journey of like learning about one another and coexisting in this place. And you meet these different characters like Calcifer, the little fire demon who's in the hearth, and then Michael, who's the young assistant, and things like that. And some of the magic I was not expecting, and I was really surprised and loved because I don't remember it from Howl's Moving Castle, the Ghibli film, but I believe that they both stand well on their own. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. I highly recommend it, especially if you want like a slower feeling book where it's just kind of like the motions, life, you're going through it, but everything is still very engaging and building upon things so that you're understanding the world and the way everything comes to a head at the end of it. Absolutely beautiful. I loved it. I mentioned it was FairyLoot in the special edition. So this is the one hardback cover. And then I absolutely adore the edges on this one. Like, come on. Oh, perfection. That one I gave 4.75 stars as well. It lived up to my expectations and surpassed them. In my tracker, I said, I think describing this book is difficult. It is a fascinating book that has you going on these little mini adventures while trying to figure out how to save the characters you learn to love. You see the characters grow, make mistakes, and fall for one another. Very different from the Ghibli movie, but the heart of the story is there, and it is beautiful in both forms. Yeah, and I fully stand by that. Yeah, Past Abrielle got that one right. But yeah, so that is what I read in February. And there was another book that I read, but I actually finished it in March, which is when I'm recording this video. So that one is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Brontë. So I'm excited to talk to you about that in another video. But yeah, it was a good month. I'm very happy. So yeah, hopefully you guys give these books a try. If you've already read Brigands and Breadknives or Mate or Howl's Moving Castle, please let me know. If you want to add one of them to your TBR, I'd also love that too. Okay, thanks for taking some time to hang out. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!